Howdy. I see that you joined. You are the only two on the stream, but I'm here to answer questions and whatever you need. You've got me for 12 minutes unless somebody else jumps on. They're gone as fast as they walked in. The sound is all messed up. Like you can't hear me, Joseph. I don't even see you in the live stream anymore. Like, is it scratchy or what's going on? I'm trying switching this out and go.
Testing out new technology. Audio. Did that get any better when I did that? Okay. Yeah, so the microphones were just dying probably then. That's weird. I can't even, now I see you in the stream, but I see two people in the stream actually. So if there is somebody else in here, I'm here for the next 9 minutes, and feel free to throw any questions that you want into the chat about anything for the comp. I can show movements, answer standards questions, flow stuff about the day, parking, whatever it is. If we don't get anyone showing up and there's no questions, that means that we did really well with the charts that I put out. So. Yep. Burpee is lateral over the bar for the event. So you'll be facing towards each other. Barbells will be lined up side by side, face right at each other. Yeah, it's not that kind of stream. This is good though, like as a test, and we can definitely do more stuff like this in the gym. It was relatively easy to set up. My laptop's admittedly not the best because the camera's down in like the bottom left. So it's a really weird place to film, hard to set up. And it wouldn't let me set it up with my phone and the tripod. Apparently you have to have 90 days or 50 subscribers on your channel. And this channel is like brand new, so having to do it from the laptop. So if we do have to show any movements or anything, then I'll have to spin the laptop around, but See, one other person joined. Feel free to throw out any questions you have about anything. I'm here for about another 7 minutes, and right now you're the only one other than one of our coaches, so feel free to ask anything you want in the chat. Just watching to see if this is just another, I think you get like random bots and all that just kind of pop through. Because I've seen a lot of like hop on and just hop right off. Oh, it actually is somebody. All right, Jason, can one person on the bike the entire if you want to do that, yes, you absolutely can do that. What category? I saw your reg, but I don't, I think I remember seeing your reg, but I don't remember what category you're in. Depending on the weights, like, I think in some of the scaled categories, it might be easier to do that, but even if you're going at capacity, and we tested this workout, yeah, so the weights are a little bit lighter in your category, but I think if you're really pushing the bike, like when we did this, we tested it a couple of ways. I've tried it doing just the bike and just the bag. The bag is much more manageable to carry the whole time at the lighter weights than the bike is if you're going against other athletes, and because you're getting two separate scores in this workout, you want to push the bike as much as you can, and you want to push the bag as much as you can. So if you're trying to sprint the bike for 4 minutes, it's just not going to happen. You get incredibly diminishing returns after even like 45 seconds on the bike. The way that, and I don't want to give too much beta about what to do, but it looks like the majority of athletes, we tested it with everyone in our gym, and I saw a lot of like switch around the 1 minute mark was pretty common, but you can do it however you want. Joseph asking, is the sandbag more points per carry? No, because they're both scored as separate workouts. So you have to do them at the same time, but you get two separate scores. So it'll be scoring, just game scoring. So at the end of the day, some of the workouts have multiple scores and some of them don't, but you'll have like, 6 workouts possible. And so if you have a tie for first or something like that, you'll have whoever got the most first will come out on top for the tie. Yeah, that was the best way to make sure that the work that you were doing on both mattered, and that you couldn't game the system and try to just only do the bike or only do the bag. And I think we may have gotten one more person, so I'm just answering questions. It's totally open-ended. Feel free to throw out anything you have in the chat, and I'll give you the best response I can. If we get a couple people coming in, I'll hang out for a couple more minutes. Jason, if you're still on, are you actually, have you tried to do a 4 minute bike at max capacity? So your heat times are coming on Monday. We are, I would love to see that. If you come out and do that at the comp and can actually sprint for 4 minutes, Echo's harder too. So we're using assault bikes. But it's way harder to do on an Echo bike. We just did a comp in Santa Barbara that had 150 sandbag squats and Echo bike sprint. It was 30 seconds, 1 minute, 30 seconds. So you went bag or bike, bag, bike with no break, only one athlete though, and it was awful. Heat times. Heat times will be coming on Monday. We're writing those all tomorrow. We wanted to give as much time as we could to have teams register so that we knew exactly how we were going to break it up. I can tell you that you're going to be in heats of 4 teams per heat. And we're going to be sticking to a pretty tight time schedule. So you'll have, as of Monday morning, your heat times, and you'll have a schedule for the entire day. That'll all come in the email on Monday. Probably be Monday evening. Looks like we got another. Again, I'm just answering open-ended questions throughout, whatever you want. Oh, it's Daniel. All right, Danny. Can we do the front squats in the genie pose first complex? You are asking if you can. Yeah, you're asking if you can hold it here like this. I'm guessing. Is that right? Yeah, I don't see an issue with that. You're still holding it in front rack. It's just with a narrow grip, so I don't see an issue with that. Beautiful. It's 1 minute between part A and part B. Yeah. So when you come in on Saturday morning, we'll do an athlete brief where I talk about how that's going to work. But essentially, the entire gym will be set up for all of the workouts. So you'll have 4 stations set up that have everything that you're going to need throughout the day. You'll have help transferring over your stuff. But it's going to be literally like a 1 minute fire drill to get you set up for the next workout, and you'll go straight into that part B workout. You can also have people help you set up for that. So you'll have kerosene staff, volunteers here doing it, but if you have friends that want to help, you can do that too. Did you try that complex, Danny? I'm curious because you're a pretty heavy lifter, what you got on that. Yeah, Jason, you'll have a warm-up area. We're a pretty massive facility, so there'll be a warm-up area with bags, barbells, everything that you need for all the stuff on the day. And we're going to do that. We'll probably do that indoors, actually. The parking lot we're going to save for people to put up tents and all, but you'll have a nice big warm-up area with lots of equipment. All right. Danny said, got it. It's 6 minutes for part A. I'm sure this will be answered during the briefing, but I'm curious, only one person can lift at a time on the team. Yeah, so the way that this works, ideally, you can pre-stage all your weights. So before your heat actually goes off, you'll have a bit of time to get in your box, set up both barbells for whatever your first lift is going to be. So you warm up in the warm-up area, you come over, you get your first lift prepped, and then when the time goes, athlete, you decide whichever athlete on your team picks up the barbell, does their complex, and then immediately they finish, they can go for another complex or their buddy athlete. But the judge needs to be able to see their lifts. A judge can't be watching, 2 sets of front squats or whatever at the same time and do it impartially. So it'll be trading off, and I strongly, if you haven't done that yet, I strongly recommend testing how that works, because 6 minutes is not a lot for one person to do the complex in. And that's kind of the intention here, is that you come in really knowing what your complex weight is going to be. You're only going to get like 1 or 2 attempts at it. So got to make it count. Yeah, we just got 20 brand new barbells too. So you guys will have Rep Colorado bars. They're quite nice. We used them for a clean workout this week. But every athlete in the gym for the comp will have the same barbell, which would be cool. It'd be a bit more fair. All right, so we're going to say we're not getting anybody joining, so I'm going to close this out, and we'll say like 5 more minutes. That'll put us at about 11:40. Give a chance for anyone that saw my email late, because I had some issues getting the stream up and running with it not letting me use my phone this morning. Yeah, no problem, Joseph. I'll see you this afternoon. I think that I got a question from Danny. Do you have an estimate for the approximate time that the first heats will go? I'm going to say probably 9 a.m. The intention is to kick off the thing at 8 a.m. So that'll be athlete brief, and then we want to give a bit of, that typically when people come to a comp, they suddenly have all kinds of questions that they didn't decide to email or whatever. So I want to give enough time for that athlete brief and to give everybody all their t-shirts and everything else in the morning. So there'll be a bit of flexibility in the morning with the doors opening and getting through that stuff, but there'll be a hard set time, and I'm thinking it's 9 a.m. to get started. I'm thinking that complex. We tried part of it the other day, and I think you're going to be having a difficult time over like 285 for the guys who are like RX trying really hard, even with a brand new barbell. But we'll see. I'm excited to see what people do. There's some pretty fit athletes coming for RX. Joseph's going to have a run for his money. Literally. We're giving away money. Never clean more than 260. What do you mean 280? Well, I wasn't talking about you. Joseph got 300 for the first time, what was it, 2 weeks ago now? All right, we got 3 more minutes here. Oops. Yeah, right. Lots of practice. He's been practicing high pulls and all kinds of stuff from the jerk blocks a lot. Yep, sounds good, Danny. We'll see you then. Good luck. Oh, Jesus. Come on, man. I'm not repeating that. Any reason the RX and scaled athletes have the same box heights? So we tried to make the workouts, we tried to scale only the things that there was really a reason to scale in the workout. There's not a lot of those movements in there. And we didn't want to pacify out all the things that we see scaled athletes doing all the time. Usually we don't have people scaling box step overs. The majority of the scaled athletes are still doing the same height, but for a weighted box step over, they're scaling the weight on that. So that was pretty much it. We could have. I can also see a reason maybe in the scaled masters to do that. And I'll talk to Ravi, who's our head programmer. Because some of those decisions were definitely, there's stuff that he was like, this is what we need to do. And I defer to him. So I'll bring that up specifically with him this weekend, but I don't see us changing that for scaled, but I could see how scaled masters, that might make sense. You start to get more mobility issues in the higher age ranges. All right, I'll give one more chance. It's still just Joseph and Jason. Jason, you got anything else? Because if not, I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream, and I'll have a ton more information coming out to all you guys on Monday. Cool. All right. Well, good luck, Jason. Looking forward to meeting you in person in a week. And thanks for dropping in and asking some questions. See you later tonight, Joseph. Thanks, guys.